So can we normalize you letting me borrow your husband, and not in that way, you freaking weirdos, but like in the way where you both come over and he helps, hang my TV and lift all the heavy things, and we drink wine at the same time, and I'll make you both dinner, and he can have a beer at the same time too. Like it's a win-win-win-win. But I need to borrow your husband.
First of all, the fact that this woman has to come online and ask other women for their husband's help, it is because she doesn't have any other men to go to. She doesn't have men sitting in her friend zone in order to ask these things of. And that is what women used to do 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago. But this is evidence of men really starting to leave the friend zone because they've realized that they don't need to continue to give when they don't really receive anything back. And not only that, guys, because it's not just about needing anything back, because I think that being a good person in general, you shouldn't have that expectation. Like when you give to somebody, you shouldn't expect something back from them. But the problem is that when you're that good person, which a lot of men are, and they're very capable. So like that's an easy way for them to give to women is just to be present and to lift that heavy item, move that desk, open that can. Like those are fairly simple tasks to them that they can be there for. And in general, these men don't expect anything back. But the problem today is that men are hearing these things as expectations of women. They are hearing more of women's attitude towards men that has been revealed on social media. So many women saying that they would pick the bear over running into a man in the woods. Women come on here and they shame men for not being real men because men aren't giving up their seat. They're not opening the door. Like they're not doing these things that are exactly right. So they come on and they talk very poorly of men. Well, what that does over time is that a lot of men get this message that maybe, they should be putting their energy towards the women that they are in a relationship with, first of all. And then even if it's not a woman that they're in a relationship with, maybe they shouldn't be just pouring out their energy into women that obviously don't care about them. Women that have stuck those guys in their friend zone that, there's not going to be a relationship out of. Which leads me to the other huge thing that women have revealed on social media, which is that they purposely put men in their friend zone, that they purposely use men. Men have been receiving that message along with women, ladies. And because of that, they are being more cautious. They don't want to be that man that is just giving all this stuff to you when these women are not even appreciating it. And that is like the thing that men need. They need the appreciation. But for men to see women actually almost get away with pretending that they appreciate it, and that's how they are getting these men to keep doing these things, they start learning their ways. And that is what is causing them to know the truth and to pull back a little bit on how much they're giving. The other huge part of this is that husbands are tired, okay? They don't want to be doing additional things for their wife's friends, most likely, especially if they didn't sign up for it. Like if their wife is signing them up for it and then they have to deal with two households, like that's possibly a bit disrespectful. Now it comes with a caveat because some men might get more from this because wives, a lot of times, like if they can get their husband to help a friend out, like the wife is very appreciative, and that is a positive thing in the relationship. That is something that men will absolutely draw off of. Like I can say in my own marriage, I think that if I needed my husband or asked my husband to help a friend out with something, absolutely he would do it. Absolutely. And he would not expect anything. He would not expect a beer or a pizza or anything. But I'll tell you what, I would never sign him up for it. I would never say, oh yeah, he can do this. He can be right over tomorrow at 3 p.m. Like I would never do that without checking in with him. And even then, I would never expect it. I would just throw it out there and see, if he was potentially able to do it. But I would never expect him to do it. And honestly, if he said, no, or he hesitated at all, I would say absolutely, okay. Nope, she can, get somebody else to do it. You don't need to do it. This is especially important for men that work blue-collar jobs because they are already coming home late and exhausted, and they really just physically need rest. So they don't want to be standing up and even nailing nails to the wall to hang pictures because that is a draw on their energy, and their wife should know that. They should realize that, and they should protect their energy. She shouldn't just be offering his energy out to anybody. As always, guys, I'm interested to know what you guys think about the situation. What would you do? What would be the benchmarks of you wanting to help another woman out versus not? Do you specifically have anyone in your life that you would consider you're in her friend zone and you would continue to do things for? Or have you done that in the past and you kind of, smartened up and you exited yourself? Let me know. I think this is super interesting. Again, I predict that we're going to be seeing more and more videos that are a result of men exiting the friend zone. But for today, that is it. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you next Friday.
Men have left the friend zone, and women still don't realize it. She just needs to Google local handymen.
The good guy you've always wanted was probably always there. You just didn't want him yet. So many women, where are all the good men? Like they didn't know one or have one. The guy who listened, the guy that remembered things, the one that didn't play games. But he's just too nice, so you put him in the friend zone. If he still likes you, go get him. While you still can.
I believe that women put men in friend zones and men don't put women in friend zones. Men just simply don't got time for that. But women like to keep a squad of people they can travel with, go out to dinner with. Whoever is willing to spend money on her, that's who she gonna give attention to. So fellas, if you dating a woman and she got all of these male friends, don't believe it. We all know that men are there for a reason. They like somebody, they tried it, or they thought about it. There's no way that you could be in a relationship with a woman with a whole bunch of male friends because it just don't feel clean. To me, that's the ultimate disrespect. I don't want to date a man that got a whole bunch of female friends because I know they ain't just friends. I'll flip the script on that. If you are in a relationship with a woman, would she be okay with you having a whole bunch of female friends? And I would look at it like this. If I was dating a guy, he had a whole bunch of female friends, and him and I broke up the next day, I already know one of them females would be trying to put herself in position to take my place. That is exactly how people get caught up, is when they cannot have boundaries between people. When you're in a relationship, it ain't no having no friends of the opposite sex, period. Having that don't do nothing but bring problems. Trust and believe. When your partner feels disrespected, when friendship shifts to access, it's no longer innocent friendship, it's backdoor plotting. So never play dumb. Opposite sex as friends is never just that. It's options waiting for the right moment.
She ain't lying for sure.
It's the conversation no one wants to talk about. We need to start holding ourselves accountable and stop blaming everybody else. Let's talk about this. They put good men in the friend zone. Now, I don't disagree that there are a lot of ladies or women or girls that don't know how to act when someone of the opposite sex is good to them. They don't know how to reciprocate. They don't know how to value that. I also think that sometimes the good guys that end up friend zoned are the ones that are really passive. And there are a lot of women that don't want a passive man. My generalizing, of course I'm generalizing. I don't know every man that is out there, and I don't know every woman that is out there. I can't put my 2 cents on this because I have had a lot of videos recently where there is a very different polarity between men that don't see themselves as the good guys, men that see the assholes and recognize that those guys aren't helping, and men that do see themselves as, well, she left for someone else and I was so wonderful and great to her. That poses a really good question that I think a lot of people are missing. That question is, why do you think that she put you in the friend zone? I hate the term, but because everybody else is using it, we're just going to use it as a placeholder. Again, women put men in the friend zone because they are super passive. The societal increase of the amount of passive men who have helped enable women to be put into their masculine is astounding. A lot of women have been put into their masculine. You should look it up. It is a thing. It's not just in my brain. It actually is a thing. Passive men put women in their masculine because passive men don't lead. Passive men sit back and expect someone else to do something for them. And so women then had to step up and take care of it. Why do you think that a lot of women have become single on their own and have left relationships? because that means that both sides are going to have to hold accountability for what happened in that relationship. And so many people are so against actually having a conversation with themselves to recognize what maybe they were unable to provide in the relationship. And that's for both genders. When someone who is passive in a relationship then has a female who has to step into her masculine, who has to be the one to start leading, who has to be the one to start taking care of everything, why would that woman have any desire to stay in that relationship? Because yeah, she's doing it all on her own. She's not able to sit back in that feminine, soft, reciprocal environment because she's the one doing everything. It leads to resentment. It leads to all these things that guys are like, well, I don't want that type of woman anymore, but they're lacking the ability to recognize how potentially they did something in the relationship that got them out of the relationship.
Friend-zoned guys typically are more passive, and most women now don't want passive men because that is why they end up being in their masculine energy. They want masculine men to place them back into their feminine energy. It's all games in the end.
Okay, so you know how men are super simple, and if they're truly into you, you'll know. It's not rocket science. Women are actually the exact same way. If she's making up excuses why she's not texting you back, if she's not jumping at the opportunity to see you, if she doesn't act like she likes you, she doesn't like you. Don't let women put you in a friend zone, because this is what they try to do. They'll try to keep you around because they think you're good enough to become a friend. They want you to give them that attention that they think that they deserve, but they don't think you're good enough to be a potential boyfriend or someone that they would date. So it's not rocket science with women either. If she doesn't act like she likes you, if she doesn't jump at the opportunity to go on a date, if she doesn't text you back right away, if she doesn't act excited around you, she's not interested and she probably wants to friend zone you, so just drop it. No point in being friends with her. A woman that likes you will not keep you second guessing. You'll know. It's gonna be easy, it'll flow, it'll be natural. You guys will be on the same page. So if you feel like you're doing the chasing and it's not reciprocated, drop her. She doesn't like you.
Also, pay attention when a woman does make it a point to contact you. Is she bored? Does she want something from you?
But I will say, guys, we have to resist the urge. We gotta resist the urge to fall back into that, what you want to do, what you like. I'll be her friend. We can't have it all together. I'll just orbit. If you're gonna go out like a man, 10 toes down. You're gonna go out like a man. It is better on your psyche to know you went down like a man instead of like a I've been there, bro. You don't want that. When you exercise the last little bit of out of you, and when you see it start to well up in you again, you slap the back out of yourself. Hell no. No. None of that. You stay on your square. You remember who you're supposed to be. Get your gauntlet, your wolf pack around you. Get you a friend to elbow you back in your jaw, you in your motherfucking chest. Say, man, stop tripping. Stop being a punk. Trust me. It is better for you. It is better for them. It is better for us all.
If she wants to be just friends, she never liked you to begin with.
This one guy in New York, we were friends for 20 years, never touched him, nothing. And he was like my therapist. Every time something went wrong, I would call him and he just knew what to say to me, like to calm me down. And like we could talk for hours, but I wasn't physically attracted to him at all. Like I would never see myself having sex with him, but he was like my therapist. Like I could talk to him every day, all day.
Good enough to be there when her actual boyfriend let her down, but never good enough to be the boyfriend. Good enough to move her across the country, but not good enough to build a life with. And at some point, men realized the game was rigged, so they stopped playing. So if men left the friend zone, where did they go? This is the part that might surprise you. They didn't become bitter. They didn't join some angry online movement. They didn't sit around complaining. They just redirected themselves. Sociologists are now documenting what they're calling a fundamental shift in how men define success and fulfillment. Career development, personal growth, financial stability. These are being prioritized over relationship formation. especially among men in their 20s and their early 30s. Gyms are becoming mental health outlets, not just places to get in shape, but places to find community, purpose, and self-worth. Men's coaching services and personal development programs are seeing record engagement. Male friendship groups are forming, real ones, not just drinking buddies, but men who actually talk to each other about their lives. One researcher put it this way, quote, "We're seeing a generation of men who are redefining success and fulfillment outside of the traditional framework of marriage and family. And here's what that actually looks like. The guy who used to spend his weekend waiting by his phone hoping she'd text back, he's in the gym now, or building a side business, or learning a skill that actually makes him feel competent. The energy that used to go towards chasing approval from someone else who wasn't even interested, it's now going towards becoming someone he respects. Because here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. 15% of men under 30 now report having no close friends at all. That's up from just 3% in 1990. Men are lonely, genuinely lonely. But instead of trying to fill that void by orbiting someone who doesn't want them, they're building something real. Connection with other men, a relationship with themselves, a sense of purpose that doesn't depend on anyone else's validation. That's not giving up. That's growing up. Here's what fascinates me most about this whole situation. Men have been talking about this for years. The friend zone, the one-sided dynamic, the emotional cost of waiting for someone who was never going to choose them. This conversation has been happening in male spaces for a very long time. But a lot of women, they're just now noticing the effect. Not because they weren't paying attention, but because the men who left didn't make a scene. They didn't announce their departure. They didn't send a breakup text to women. They were never even dating. They just stopped showing up. And that's the thing about quiet dignity. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't seek validation. It just moves on. So now you have some women making videos, why men don't approach anymore, why they can't find anyone to help them, why the men who used to be available now vanished. And the answer has been there the whole time. Those men learned something important. They learned that their time has value, their energy has value, their attention has value, and they stopped giving it away for free to people who didn't value it back.
She needs him when she needs him, but she's going to realize how much she needs him when he finds someone else to give love to.
As a guy, stop putting yourself in the friend zone. Women know what they want almost immediately. So if she's putting you in the friend zone and she's giving you a bunch of excuses like, I'm not ready to be in a relationship yet. I'm just in a tough place right now. I just need some time to figure out myself and I just need to find my journey. She's bullshitting you. She just really don't like your ass. She don't really find you attractive, but she's being nice. She's too nice to just be like, get the F out my face. She's just being nice by saying all these excuses to not hurt your feelings. So she's putting you in the friend zone and basically keeping you as an option when her main dude that she really liked, that'll let him do whatever the hell he wants, she's playing games with that nigga and giving him the time of day. And if that falls off or if that breaks off or he dumps her one day, she'll have you in the friend zone when it's time for her to pack it up, be in these streets, and she can run back to your ass as the backup plan. So fellas, ladies only have male friends as a backup plan. Don't get it twisted.
Who is chasing women in 2026? Not us.
You're free to move on and find whoever you want, but we want to keep you around as our friend.
I'm free to move on and find whoever I want, but you would rather me continue to invest in this friendship. You know I like you. You know I want to be with you. And you want me to invest myself as a friend deeply, support you emotionally, validate you, remind you that you're beautiful, so I can keep one foot out the door in all my relationships and stay attached to you, possibly hope for things to change. And when they don't, or if I get upset or you move on to somebody you actually want to be with, you have the perfect alibi and say, we were just friends. Got it. So you know that guy who doesn't want a relationship, and just wants to keep things casual, you're free to come or go, but he really likes your connection, so you continue to invest your time, body, love, and energy, low-key hoping things might change. You probably don't like that guy very much, and that's kind of ironic.
They want us to stay for ego boost, not because they actually care about us or our friendship.
How long did you say you guys have been friends?
10 years.
10 years. Wait, what? Yeah. In that time period, have you never had feelings for each other?
No, like he's been just such a great friend.
Oh, really?
So like I couldn't like see the other side.
True,
of it.
and
If
yeah,
that
that's
makes
pretty
sense.
true. That's true, and yeah, that's true.
Could you ever see her being your wife one day?
He's like,
I mean, it's possible. I mean, it's possible.
So you wouldn't rule that out?
I wouldn't
we
completely.
never thought about it.
Bro, what are you talking about, man? I've never 100% thought about it. I mean, it's possible, but
So, how come it's a possibility in your mind, but for you, you're like, I would just never look at him that way?
So I wouldn't say I never.
Stop the cap.
But we've been such good friends. I don't want to ruin the friendship.
What a shame. How could you ruin a friendship by getting closer?
Some people, you know, like when people take friendships into relationships, they're not meant to be in a relationship. They were always meant to be friends.
And that's a fact.
Like if you just feel like you were meant to be friends, you're meant to be friends. Trying to force a relationship on top of that, I don't know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Could it be that what you're looking for a man, he just doesn't fit that box?
No, I wouldn't say that because he fits all the boxes.
Then why not move the relationship further?
I never thought about it, honestly.
10 years, bro? That's citizenship right there. Thanks for watching Manhood. If you want access to exclusive episodes and want to support the channel, hit that join button and become a member. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if it hit home. Drop your stories and thoughts in the comments. We read everyone. See you tomorrow.